Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you're tuning in to us from. Some of you may be live with us, some of you may be watching the replay. Either way, I'm glad that you're here. Thanks so much for tuning in and taking some time today. We are going to be jumping in to some good content here soon. Before I do that, I got to give you a quick update, kind of let you know if you're new around here what this is all about, and then we'll talk about today's topic. So if you're new around here, please be sure to jump into the comments, even if you're watching the replay. Super important, not only for me to know that you're here and that you are stopping by to say hi, but also for you to get noticed. I want you to show up, I want you to deliver, and I want you to engage. Those are my three core values. That's the magic formula to making your business stand out here online and offline. And I need you to do that, and it's going to change the game for you, okay? So make sure to do that. Also, if you're new around here, this is a business talk show. We go live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, you can always catch the replays, but it's better when you're live because then you get to actually interact with me and we can have a conversation. And we talk about business, tech, and the user experience here. And if you ever want to catch up on anything or you're like, I need help, edtroxel.com is where you're going to go. I put the link in the comments for you. That's where you can find resources. I've made it available so that you can easily search, just like you were on Google to search for something. You can do that on my site. Find resources. Some of them are going to be around social media, some are around websites, some are around marketing and sales. In fact, today I just posted one blog post about the Amazon effect and giving you kind of a timeline about how Amazon started and where they're at today. So go check that out. Leave me a comment, say hello over there. And of course, if you don't want to miss anything, sign up for the newsletter. It's free. You get free coaching from me, and you also get a weekly update with episodes of Ed Talk TV, blog posts, and so much more. So it all gets delivered right into your inbox. So you can do that anytime over at edtroxel.com. All right, so the way this show is structured, I give you some random news because we like to lighten things up and have some fun. And then from there, we have a quick commercial break. That's right, we got commercials here, but that's a good one, and it's mine. So it's not like a random Facebook one, even though Facebook may throw in their own later. And then on top of that, we also have then the main topic. So today's main topic is what you were missing on your sales receipts. Yeah. So even if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments how many of you guys are selling something. It could be online or offline, either way, or it could be both. Let me know. Are you selling something, and where are you selling it? Is it just online sales, or are you selling something at an actual retail location? See, sometimes you mess up. It's all good. So let me know, even if you're watching the replay, but it's super important to know if you're selling something because this is what's going to help you take your sales to the next level. It's going to help you bring in more sales, but also, more importantly, make stronger connections with those who are around you and who are buying from you. That's the key. But before we get to all of that, before we get all that goodness, we're going to go into random news. So pop in, say hello, and let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Check this out. So an 800-pound hammer was stolen from a local area here. 800 pounds, you guys. Look at this hammer. It's 21 feet long, the wooden handle, and it's 800 pounds. Like, they can't find where it's at, what's going on. It's about $15,000 worth. That's some pretty crazy thing. Hey, Monica, welcome. Online sales, perfect, awesome. Thank you, Monica, for mentioning that. So, 800 pounds, and it's not like this, they just picked it up and, walked off. They had several people help them with that if that was the case. So there's that. That's pretty random. And then for those who are trick-or-treating, be careful, because in certain locations, you could go to jail for trick-or-treating if you're over 12. How many of you, well, maybe you don't want to tell me on the comments here, but how many of you guys are over 12 and like to go trick-or-treating? I know that where I used to live, we had people come by the van loads of trick-or-treaters, and they would come, and we had parents, and we had kids, we had everyone with tons of bags. I mean, it was crazy. And in certain areas, if you're over 12 and you are trick-or-treating, you could get fined. A fine of not less than $25 or more than $100, or being in jail. So for not more than 6 months or both. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's pretty random, I think. I don't know how they regulate that, and really that's interesting law. So anyway, just be careful when you trick or treat. And then because it's the fall and because of flu season and because a lot of you are parents, I want to know your take on this. And it does tie into business, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. What do you think of this little tag that you can put on your baby carriages? Anytime you're carrying the baby, what do you think of this tag? For those who are just listening, I'll read it out. It says, "Stop. Your germs are too big for little me. Please look, don't touch. Mommy thanks you very much." This other one is, "No touching. Your germs are too big for me. Thanks." Now, I know a lot of you will watch the replay and are parents, so I'm curious, is this something that you would buy and have on your strollers and carriers? It is an Etsy item, and they've actually developed several different ones. Something very interesting. Some are saying it's a little over the top. It's basically like, don't be creepy, don't be touching my baby unless I know you. So I don't know. I don't have kids. I think if I did, I still don't need to have this sign because, again, really, I'm not too crazy on the whole germ thing. I worked with kids for a very long time at after-school programs, elementary kids, from anywhere from 6 months to 12 years old. So it's like I've been around kids, and I worked at the Apple store before. You know what it's like in the Apple store with the germs and everything. So I'm not too big on germs, and I feel like that would just be over the top if I had that for my kids. So I don't know. But you guys chime in and let me know what you think. And that is our random news. So we are going to take a quick commercial break. I know, super quick. And then we are going to jump into today's content, which is what you're missing on your sales receipt that can help you get more sales and establish better connections with your customers. So we'll be right back, and we'll talk about that. Hang tight. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. So that was a quick commercial. As you can see, I kind of messed up a little bit at the beginning there, but it's all good. It's all good. So, brought out the whiteboard. What? Yep, we're going to start learning. So for those of you watching live or on the replay, let me know in the comments when you are selling things, both online or offline, are you giving a receipt? So if I come to your website and buy something, am I going to get a receipt? And if so, what is on that receipt? Let me know what is on that receipt. The reason I bring this up is because it's something that a lot of us miss in terms of a marketing opportunity and where we can actually generate more sales and get to know our customers better. And I'm going to kind of relate it to another part, so you're kind of getting a bonus here. Another part of the equation that deals with something we use every day, probably all day long, called email. Now, many of you probably use email, are stuck in email all day long, and you may or may not have this, what I'm about to tell you, in place. I will tell you though, once you do, and you make sure to check it every so often and fine tune it, it really can be the word of mouth for you. It's like the best free marketing advertising you can do for you and your business. So what is it? Any guesses? You want to take a guess? I'm going to take a sip of water while you guess what we're talking about. That's right. Email signature. So every email you send, and this ties into what we're going to talk about here, every email you send, you should have a signature. Meaning, go to your email provider, your program, and find where it has your signature. If you're using iPhone and it says sent from iPhone, get rid of that. That's not doing any good for you or your business. If you're using any other program and it has their own tagline or something, like, get rid of it. You can customize that and put in your own signature. Now, don't get too fancy with like images and things like that, because a lot of email providers block images. Keep it super simple. Text and links. Like, that's what you want to do. So, for instance, in mine, I'll have my name, my business website, and then I actually provide my office hours and letting people know that email is the best way to get a hold of me. And the reason I do that, why I do that, is because I want people to know when they can expect to hear from me. So if you email me on the weekend and we didn't talk about that in terms of like, an emergency or something, it may not get answered till Monday. So that way I set the right expectation up front and they always have that as a reminder. I also have a link to the HeyEd community, right? The network. For those who aren't familiar, HeyEd is a service that I provide. It's a monthly membership that helps you with all your tech and business related questions. So you get all of this training almost on a daily basis, to be honest, and then all the support you need for a whole month, every month around tech and business. It's super cool. And I will tell you, not just because it's mine, but I will tell you that it has been very impressive and awesome to be able to see the growth with the members and just how unique our program is. I say our because it's all of us. It's not just me. And it's something that everyone really should experience and see the difference. So I have that in my email signature, right? So I have most of the key points all my key points that I want there. My name, my website, my office hours, best way to get a hold of me, and HeyEd, a connection there. So that way people can go directly to that. That's in my email signature. So every time I send an email, that shows up in anybody's inbox, wherever I'm emailing, right? So they have something to reference. So you want to make sure that you start there with your email marketing strategy and really look at your signature and make sure that you put in some key info. Now, don't go in there and have like a whole paragraph of all these things and how great you are and what you do and all. No, let's bullet point list, keep it super simple, make sure it's your website and who you are and what you do. Like business strategist, tech expert, edtroxel.com. That's it, keep it simple. The reason I'm sharing that example with you is because, one, it's a bonus for those who are watching, even if you're watching the replay. And two, it ties into the sales receipts. So now let's start talking about the sales receipts. So what typically happens, and I'm just going to provide this info, it can look a little different for everyone. What typically happens is you start with a social media post, then you share, or you don't share, but the social media post gets attention to your website. Hopefully, that's the key, right? We really want posts to go here and then here. See how that works? It's supposed to work together because we want everyone to come back to our website. Then what happens is we go to the sales page. Then we go to what? What happens after the sales page? I know that's a little small. We go to checkout, right? And then what happens after checkout? We get our receipt. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. And then what happens? We let them go. Like, if I'm the customer and I found your social media post, I went to your website, I like what I see, I'm going to purchase, I'm checking out, I made my purchase, now I got my receipt, bye, thank you, bye-bye. And then I'm gone. What are we missing though? What's something that we're missing in this process? We know that this part works, so let's start from the checkout again. So we're going to go checkout. Receipt. And on that receipt, we should be providing what? Not just the information of what was sold, not just the access information in order to access the download or whatever, but what else do we want to include on that receipt? Even if you're watching the replay, let me know. And there's no right or wrong answer because there's so many things you can add to this receipt, and we're not trying to have, full-on sales page on the receipt, okay? But what are some things, even if you're watching the replay, that you could add to your receipt? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to give you a couple examples here. So if we check out, we have the receipt. On that receipt, we can have an upsell, a recommendation, right? Upsell / rec. We can have share on social media, right? We can have provide feedback. This is our favorite. Why is it our favorite, you guys? That's supposed to be back. You can get it. Why is feedback so important? It tells us where our strengths and our opportunities are. Remember, that's what feedback is. That's what we want. We want to know what are our strengths. Oh, you had a great social media post. It was so captivating. It took me straight to your website. One click and I was there. I saw from your website the sales page, which was great. And then the checkout process, super easy. I just put in my credit card info and hit buy. And then I got my receipt. Or, I got to your website and I couldn't figure out how to make a purchase from your sales page. I didn't see a button. Or, I got to the checkout, but there was way too much stuff going on the page. I didn't know that you needed to have, my whole life history. I literally just wanted to buy this one product. So why am I giving you, everything that I've ever worked at, all the places I've worked at, or whatever it may be. So feedback is super important for us. We need to know what's working and what's not. And the only way we're going to know about that is if we ask. Remember, my favorite 2 words are ask and listen. So that's what we're working with. That's what you want to be doing actively. So when you start looking at your sales receipts, and I hope all of you start to do that today, tomorrow, this weekend, whenever you make the time for it, let me know, even if you can add the comment on this post or just tag me on social media and let me know if you made any adjustments to your receipts. So what we want to do is we want to add something to our receipts that basically keeps the customer involved, keeps that journey going. Let's take a look at what Uber does. So let me go ahead and go here. I feel like I have This, I feel like I'm like on Grease or something. What the heck? Uh, so let's go ahead and share my screen. Let's take a look at what Uber does. So Uber, let me try to zoom in over here. Uber's receipt will tell you the price. Thanks for choosing Uber. Gives you the map of where you traveled. Tells you the fare. Visit this page for more information, including invoice. So they're taking you to their website. They tell you the driver. They ask you to rate. There's that feedback, right? Here's their support, because maybe you had some issues. Then they have what? Sharing. They have a share code. You can share on social media or via email. So this whole receipt here is pretty clean, to be honest, yet has some valuable information both for the customer and for connecting with you, the business, right? So this is what you really want to start paying attention to, and use this example to see how you can step up your sales receipts. So then that way it stands out for others. Now, I will share with you, for those who are curious, Uber basically spends almost virtually no money on advertising because they are all about word of mouth. And they have found, this is from their research, they have found that for every 7 rides they give, they get 1 new rider. It's pretty darn good. Every 7 rides, 1 new rider. And think about it, it's all word of mouth. For the most part. I mean, yeah, they have a few ads out or whatever. I don't know if they paid for those or if they just created them themselves in-house. But when you think about it, word of mouth is still number 1 for marketing, you guys. And it costs you $0. You don't have to worry about the Facebook ads or the Google ads or whatever ads. You have to worry about putting in the time, showing up, delivering, and engaging with your customers. That's what this is going to do for you. That's what this for Uber is doing for them. They're keeping it super simple, providing all of the information that the customer needs, as well as the information that will help them. It's a two-way street here. So keep that in mind when you're going through your sales receipts, and really look at that and think, how can I update mine? What can I do? Let me also mention, when it comes to upsells, I got like one dog here, the other dog over there, and then the tripod here. When it comes to this, don't get carried away with upsells. Your magic number to stop at is 2. Anything over 2 upsells gets very annoying. I will tell you, there was one product that I had bought. It was a fitness one, meal plan. Well, no, it was the workouts that I bought. And then, of course, the upsell was meal plan. So, of course, that's fitting. I'm buying the workouts. I should have the meal plan because they go hand in hand. So it was fine. I didn't buy it, but I mean, that was fine for the upsell. Then there was another upsell for something else. Okay, fine. Then there was another one. And there was like 5 or 6 upsells, you guys. I was like, I'm glad I'm doing this for research, because this is irritating. Like, I'm already it's driving me nuts. So keep that in mind, that don't go over 2 upsells, because it's just going to be crazy, and your customers are going to not be happy. So keep it under 2. Typically it's, I'm buying something. Oh, by the way, here's a recommended product. Just like I mentioned, I was buying the workouts. The recommended product was the meal plan. Makes sense. They go hand in hand, So keep that in mind when you're building out your products and how you want that flow to go. And do something like this. Get a whiteboard, get some paper, whatever works for you. Draw it out, though, because this is exactly what a lot of people are doing right now, is they're creating posts on social media that should be blog posts, mind you, but they're creating posts here. They may or may not drive them back to their website, And then they may or may not get to all of this, right? So what you want to do, ideally, is start with a website post. Then it goes to social. Then it drives back to your website / sales page, which then goes to checkout, which then goes to sales receipt, which has what? Extra info. That's what you want. That's kind of an ideal situation there. So really think about your process, draw it out, sketch it out, whatever works for you. Do the computer, paper, whiteboard, it doesn't matter. But do something where you can really watch the flow there. Because when you can see it like this, you can see where you can make adjustments to fine-tune things. I was just presenting to the high school, working with students on social media and educating them. And we actually were just talking about this. They have a production that they're working on in terms of a theater production. And they're working on marketing it and getting out into the community. So that's our project that we're working on this year. And they've never collected email addresses from people in the past who have attended the shows to keep them updated. And we got into that conversation, which is why I also brought in earlier the email signature, is that when somebody buys a ticket, so somebody is interested in the show, for this example, they are interested in the show, they get to the website, they make a purchase, on that sales receipt, for that example, on that sales receipt, they should have something that says, stay in the know, or join our newsletter so you can stay up to date. Some kind of call to action to keep those people interested. That way they don't just lose that connection, that contact. Because it's not just about the sale, remember? We're not worried about the sales today. We're worried about establishing the relationship and nurturing that over time. That's how you're going to have a sustainable business. So really keep that in mind and really start thinking about your flow here, your charts, and really map things out. Now, if you need anything, feel free to always reach out. Of course, like I said, I do all of this inside HeyEd, the support network for your business, and it's super affordable when you see everything that you get, and it's every day, all day, and it's for the month. So you don't have to worry about like setting up a call or anything like that. Like, it's literally getting training and answers to your questions all the time. So take a look at that. It's over on edtroxel.com. If you guys need anything else, you know where to find me here on the page. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Even if you're watching the replay, don't forget to comment so I can connect with you and just chat, hang out with you. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you here next week. And have an awesome weekend too. All right, take care.